Last time around, the Coleman CT200U did 48.71 miles per hour. Did a top speed of 48.71 miles per hour and 6.55 0 to 30. Okay, 6.55 0 to 30 with a 100% stock Predator 224. So this time around, in the quest for more top speed and quicker 0 to 30 times, I'm going to do the governor zip tie trick. And we'll see if it picks up any top speed, and we'll see if it's quicker from 0 to 30. And then I'm going to install this VM22 carburetor and this header pipe on the Predator 224. And we'll check the difference between a stock Predator 224 with the governor zip tied and a Predator 224 with a VM22 and a header pipe. Okay, to zip tie the governor spring on this thing, on this engine, it's pretty tight up in there, so it's probably better just to remove the gas tank or lift it up a little bit. It'd be a lot easier to get to it without this air box on here. Okay, remove this throttle linkage. Get this out of the way, and then remove that tank bolt back here. All right, let me remove this bolt for the tank here, and remove these front tank bolts. All right, so let me lift up on this tank here. Pull this tank off, hopefully. I mean, you could probably get the needle nose under here and do it, but it's just easier to do it with the tank off or up a little bit. But anyway, so I'll throw a zip tie in the spring right here for the governor. So, let me throw a zip tie in the spring, in the governor spring. Okay, got the zip tie in the spring. Alrighty, so I'm gonna tighten down on there. This should keep that spring from stretching. Put this tank back down. Bolt this tank back up real quick. I'm just going to leave this tank bolt out right now. Just hook the throttle back up, because I'm going to take it out for one test ride, and then I'm going to put the VM22 on here. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how much difference it does make with the governor removed or governor zip tied. All right. Okay. So let me pop this air box back on here. Okay. Okay, there we go. Governor zip tie trick. Now we'll go see if we can beat 48.71 miles per hour and 6.55 0 to 30. And then I'll come back and throw the VM22 on it. Okay, 0 to 30. Predator 224, governor zip tied. So it did 0 to 30 in 6.36. So it beat the governored version of 6.55. So let me go do top speed. Top speed, Coleman CT200U, Predator 224 with the zip-tied governor. Okay, did a top speed of 49.14. Okay, so the Coleman CT200U with the Predator 224 and the governor zip tied picked up a couple tenths of a second. It went from 6.550 to 30 to 6.36. And then the top speed, it gained a little bit of top speed. I think it was 48.71 before, and this time around it was 49.14. Okay, so now let me install the VM22 and the header pipe, and we'll see if the valve springs limit the RPM potential of the Predator 224. Okay, so I pull the stock carb off of here. I probably have to pull that tank off so I can extend that fuel line for that VM22. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see with the VM22 on here and a header pipe. It'll be able to pump more air, so I'm wondering if the valve springs will limit it. We'll see. It's nice that I already have my tip for my throttle cable on here. Pull off all this throttle linkage, which is cool. It always looks nicer without all this stuff on here. And I already have my tip for the VM22. I never took off, which was nice. Get rid of all the governor linkage. So it'll have the internal governor, but it won't have any of the external stuff. Okay. Pull this carb off of here. So now, let me pull this carb off of here, now that I got the fuel line unhooked. Alright. Pull these studs out of here. So let me throw this VM22 on here. Tighten this carb down on here. Hook up the throttle linkage, which would be super easy to do because I already have the throttle tip on the throttle cable. Let me hook up this throttle linkage, which will be super easy because I already have the cable set up. Okay, so let me put the top back on here. Put on the washer, then the spring, then the slide. Put the slide back down in here. Alright, got throttle. So now I'm going to remove this tank off of here and get rid of all those governor arms and springs and stuff. So now I got the tank out of the way, I can pull all this arm off of here. This governor arm, which I don't need anymore. And then later on I'll take the wheel out of it. But for right now, it'll work. Alrighty. Pull that off of there. No need for any of this stuff anymore. So now I can put the tank back on and hook the fuel line up, throw the header on it, and we should be good. The bolt in back here for the tank. Okay, so now I'll hook up this fuel line. There we go. So we got the fuel line hooked up, carb on. So now let me throw a header pipe on here. Pull this muffler off of this because I think this is pretty restrictive. So I was going to throw this short pipe on it, but let's throw this long pipe on there instead. I think it'll run better with the long pipe. So let's throw this on here. I think it might like the long pipe better. Seems like they usually do. Okay, so there we go. Predator 224 with the long pipe, header pipe. Okay, so there we go. We got the VM22 on the Predator 224 with the header pipe, and it still has the 212 jetting, so we'll see if that's good enough. So let's take this out for 0 to 30 and top speed and see if we can beat those times. 6:36 from 0 to 30 and 49.14 top speed. Okay, 0 to 30. Predator 224, VM22, and header pipe. Okay, let's see what it did. To 0 to 30 and 5.66. Let me try that again. 0 to 30, second attempt. Predator 224, VM22, and a header pipe. Okay, second attempt, 0 to 30, 5.48, 5.48. Okay, top speed, Predator 224 with a VM22 and a header pipe. Okay, let's see what it did. It is a lot faster. It did 57 miles per hour. So the CT200U with the Predator 224 and the VM22 carb and the header pipe was a lot faster and a lot quicker. Predator 224 with the zip-tied governor did 6.36, 0 to 30, and 49.14. And with the VM22, it dropped down to 5.66 and 5.48. It was pretty close to dropping a second off 0 to 30. Made it a lot quicker. And then it went from 49 miles an hour to 57.03, 57.03. So it gained close to 8 miles per hour. So the valve springs on the Predator 224 are not too bad. You can get quite a bit of RPM out of it with the stock springs just by adding a VM22 and a header pipe. It made this bike a lot faster.